guys, welcome back to part 2 of the Alaskan Hauler. In this video I'll be showing you how I weather everything. Now I got everything painted now so far, so I got all the aluminum and tan and the engine painted and all that stuff. So I finally finished painting all the main colors and stuff. I have started weathering because it has been a long time since I've weathered any vehicles. Now I've done quite a few of these. I always enjoyed it, but it's just I kind of forgot the rhythm to it, so I've been experimenting trying to figure out how to do it and what way and how to get certain looks. I did already do the engine. I was messing with it, so I do have the engine kind of painted up and done already for like some radiator leaks and oil leaks and stuff like that. And I did a black wash, brown wash, gray wash. So the engine's done because I was experimenting. I kind of, like I said, I kind of forgot how to do this. I do have a car sitting here. This was actually one of the very first times that I've ever done like a barn find, rusty, abandoned car. This was an old kit. I just redid it, but this was the first one that I ever did, and I've just been sitting on my shelf ever since. This actually used to be blue, and I repainted it to red. So this was, I just hand brushed everything and tried to do my best to make it look dirty and whatever, and messed up the insides and all that stuff. But this was the very first one that I've ever done this with, and it's still sitting on the shelf next to me. So I figured I'd show you that. I have quite a few more that I've done. I can just put like a couple pictures here of some that I've done, but for now I'll just put that to the side, and I'm going to show you a couple ways that I've already dirtied up some stuff. I have a couple tires here. I'm just using Tamiya flat earth and just kind of dry brushing them, trying to get them to look like they're worn and torn. So it'll be, I guess, a little better when it's down on the table. But let me get the camera over there, and then I can go piece by piece and pretty much just show you how I weather my stuff. Okay, so first things first, I got my tire here. There is like 8 more in a bag here somewhere. So, I got a lot more to go to do these by hand, but right now I'm just going to show you one. I got my flat earth here by Tamiya. So what I'm going to do is, I already shook the bottle, so I have some paint in the cap here, and I'm just going to kind of lightly touch it, go sideways, and then kind of just brush this way and go back and forth. Now it's not meant to be perfect, it's not meant to get clean, and the reason I'm doing it like this is because I want the treads in the middle to still be black, and I'm also getting the sides, so that way the dirt looks like it's kind of splashed and been splashed. I put a little too much there, but I got a little too much on the brush, but it's okay. There's all kinds of different ways. A couple other ones that I did, I just airbrushed the dirt onto the tires to make it more like a flat look. The same way. But I'm just gonna do it like this because I want it to be random and uneven, and that way I get the dirt along the edges of the tires like that. So it's kind of like pretty much just dry brushing everything, and then I'll come back later and get the insides of this with like a different color when I have the wheels inside of it. But that is how I'm going to do my tires. Show you the other one. So bit of a difference. I might have to go back over a couple of them just to get them to look somewhat similar, so they're not kind of, you know, too much of a different looking. But it does make a difference. So that's how I'm going to do my tires. And now we're going to go to the chrome containers. Okay, now for my chrome, all the chrome pieces on the car, on the semi, it's actually painted flat aluminum. I did not paint anything chrome. I did it flat aluminum so the paint adheres to it better. And what I do for these is I have all these Vallejos here for orange and browns. We're not going to worry about those too much right now, but I do have like light rust. This is a wash. It's pretty much just pure water. And then I have burnt umber, which is always nice light rust, and orange rust. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some burnt umber in my little paint thing here, which you see I have abused. Shake it up. You're going to put a couple drops in here. Okay, so just a few drops, not that much. And then what I do is I just take some regular water and put some water in there. And then I usually have a toothpick around here or something. Just take my toothpick and just mix it a little. If I need to add more paint or add more water, then I will. Like I said, it's been quite a while since I've done this, so I don't know. I may have to redo these a couple times. But pretty much what I do is I do that. And then okay, I'm gonna need more water. So I just put it on here and I try to let it drain, kind of like how it's dripping down like that. Try to make it like naturally drip down. So I'm gonna need more water because I want it to be more. A couple more drops. Like I said, if this doesn't work out right, I mean, I can always just repaint and redo it. But pretty much, there we go. Almost kind of like almost like it's a wash, like a regular wash, and then just have it drain down. Obviously rust builds up where all the water collects, so we're gonna do a bunch in here. Water is always landing on the top, so it should drain to the back this way. It'll just make it all kinds of rusty. Here. Make it come down a little. So obviously I'm gonna have to redo this a few times, but that'll be the first coat, the first setting, and then I'll go back and do it again. The more you do it, the darker it'll get, or you can just literally just take the paint itself and put it on there. I'm gonna go to grab something else here. Okay, so some time has gone by and the paint has dried for the chassis that I have done on here. As you can see, I just did the burnt umber and the orange rust, and I let it dry, and this is how it looks. I know it's completely different from when it was wet, but this is pretty much kind of the look I was going for. I may have to do the orange or light orange again, just to bring it out a little more, as I want this a little more dusty and rusty. I want a little more wear and tear, kind of like how this is. I want the back half, because this will be all covered up by the tanks and everything. You won't see any of this, but I did it just in case. I just did it for the video. But pretty much majority of all of this on the side, on both sides, you will be seeing. Let's see here. There's the back of it, and I'll show you how the other side dried. So you can see the difference of saturation in the orange and everything else. This piece did not dry straight, and so that's going to cause me a problem. I can already tell. Oh well, I'll fix that later. I barely got anything here, so I'll have to redo that again. But I'll have to get more of the orange rust, or where my light rust, or the light orange rust, wherever that one went. So I'll just combine these and do some more on here, but that'll be later. Let's see. I did do all the tires. All the tires are dry brushed, painted, and set. Now I just got to put them together and then weather the tire wheels themselves. But these are done for now. I did a little bit more to the engine just to make it a little bit rusty. I don't know. I didn't do anything back here because this is where I've been holding it. So I'll darken it up and do some other stuff here, but until I'm done messing with the front half, I'm not gonna mess with where I'm holding it. So that's why this is gonna be done last, just so I have a place to hold and I'm not getting fingerprints and paint all over my hand. But that's how the engine is gonna look so far. Now we are going to do the second coat, or second application of the rust to the fuel tank. So this is the first one. This is how it turns out, and this is how it is after the second. I'll show you what I did. So I'm gonna make this fuel tank look like this one here. So obviously you can tell there's a bigger difference when you do it once or twice more. So we're gonna do this one, and I also did it to some of the others. This I want to show you my mistake. So pretty much when I do this, I don't want to see brush strokes, and when I did this, oops, put that down. I forgot to add more water to get rid of this, to make it blend into the surface. So I may have to add more burnt umber, just kind of like flood it out and then put water to get rid of the brush strokes. So I'm gonna have to redo this. Sometimes it's just too much water, not enough water, too much paint, not enough paint. I'm just trying to make it look natural as possible, of how it just kind of like drips down or rains down, or just builds up in random areas, or pretty much like on the surface of like where water builds up. This I could just completely rust it out. Same thing with the other one. For the exhaust pipes, I went over the bottoms again. I need to do these halves, which I'll make this a little bit more black for this smoke that kind of puffs off from the exhaust. But other than that, this will just kind of just be light rust into heavy right here, and then kind of drain down. I did that for both of them. And then I have the front bumper here, which I did one application of the burnt umber and orange. It's gonna have to get another. and do some more burnt umbers. I want darker dirt. Maybe put some black on there for better dirt. But that's one bumper. And I have this one sitting here for the back. Maybe this is front, but I'm gonna do this one too. I'm gonna do this one on camera just to show you, try and do a faster way of blending the 2-3 colors with the water, and hopefully I can do it how I like and how I want. Let's see here. Another thing I was doing is I was testing greens out. So what I did is I took my cab and I took some olive drab and I put it on here. And when I first put it on here, it looked like it was brown. It did not match. I did this because you're not gonna see that. It'll be covered up. So that's why I did it here. This it'll just be random dirt. So I don't like how that looks. And then I tested JN green here. This will be covered by the grill. So I'm just looking for like a different green that'll like give off some type of like a wash, or like the paint's running away and it's like a lighter green. I might just use like a gray or something else. I haven't figured that out yet. But anyway, let's get to doing this.
have my wheels and tires glued together. They're still all dusty and kind of got some dirt on there. These are painted flat red with just tester spray can. I want to make these not completely rusted, more dirty than rusted. I don't know, it's a little different. I don't know, I don't want to go completely rust and just kind of orange out the red. I don't know if it will exactly look right. So I'm going to stick with the burnt umber and use this for everything. However, I'm going to mix some German black and then German red brown and see how that works. And then I also have front like bumper guard grill, and then the back piece that goes on the back of the cab. So I'm going to try and do these. I still got my water sitting here. So first things first is pretty much we're just going to experiment, and we're just going to try it on the front piece first. So we're going to put some burnt umber in there. Wet the brush. And then we're going to wet this. These paints work better when things are wet. If you have like a spray bottle, you can just spray the part and work a lot better. I actually learned a lot of this from a YouTuber called Laser Creation. He does like kind of all this types of stuff, and I love his work. I love his creations. So this is kind of how I learned how to do it, from watching him. So some burnt umber in there. You kind of want to just like turn the paint into like a wash. Is pretty much how I watched him do it. And he's from Germany, so he makes vehicles and figures and all kinds of dioramas, and he does fantastic work. So I always enjoy watching him. I think there's a couple people that actually run that channel, a couple builders. But we're just gonna put the burnt umber all over this. So you have a little bit too much here and not enough here. It's not exactly as dirty or rusty as I want it to be. Let's see. I may use the orange after all, but we're gonna see how this German brown works when I put this on here. A little bit, and yeah, okay, so I guess we will put some orange on here, unless I just leave this dirty. It'll kind of like make it dirty. I'll have more. Thicker kind of dirt around where the chains are gonna hang, that type of thing. I guess that's all right. I mean, it doesn't need to be rusty. Okay, let's get the rear back wheel here and just see how this works in here. And just mixing up both the paints and kind of just mix it up in here. A little bit of water. So this is where I can take this and go like this if I really wanted to. I might be ruining a tire, I might be making a better effect, but pretty much I'm going for Yeah, let's put some tiny bit of orange rust in there. Screw it. Just for an effect. A little bit of dab. Just for a tiny effect. Just put it in there. You can see that there's gonna be some bubbles in there from me pushing the brush, but those will pop and flatten out and go away, so those will be fine. Now I can do the back of it. This is not gonna really affect it much. Oh, I see. I should just get a bigger brush so I can. Water. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the back. But there's one tire. Let's grab front tire. Get a little more burnt umber. Some more orange. A little bit of water. Dry the brush a little because it's already wet. And do this. Too much orange, so we're gonna make it a little darker. Okay. I don't like how that looks, so we're gonna do that and reset it. So I want it to be dark, more dark than orange. And I can put a little bit of orange back in there. Alrighty, so that's how those look. I know it's wet, but they'll have a different effect. So they'll come back when these are dry. Okay guys, this is going to be the end of this video. It's been long enough. It's a long video. Everything is drying. I'll show you real quick how everything's kind of turning out pretty much how I want. It might not be perfect, but as close as it's going to get. But those are all my fuel tanks and canisters, and that's the front, so it's nice. It's dark, it's dirty. Here is how the wheels and tires turned out. That's the front and backs. I did do the interior, which I did not show because I was experimenting. The chairs are just sitting in there, but I will show you or tell you what I did in the next video and how I got here, because I'm experimenting with a few different things. In the next video, more things will be put together because I will be doing the cab next. So this will be in the next video. If you did watch this video, I do appreciate it. If you followed along, especially for this long video, I can appreciate the likes and the comments and the subscriptions. I always appreciate that. I'll probably post some pictures on my Instagram if you follow me on there. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next.